First of all, I have never lived in Branch County. I have only ever lived in St. Joseph County and Calhoun County.
Okay,
When I did,
ma'am, I don't care about all that. The matter is
okay,
here. We're addressing this today. I don't care about the background of where it was filed, not filed, et cetera.
okay. Um, so
Welcome back to Family Court Drama. In today's episode, we have a custody battle. The father is seeking joint custody of the child, claiming the mother has been blocking his efforts to maintain a relationship with his child. Meanwhile, the mother counters that the father has made only a few attempts to see the child in recent months and strongly disagrees with his proposed visitation schedule. Let's see how the judge decides on this case.
On behalf of the defendant, this matter is before the court on the defendant's motion for custody and parenting time. Ms. Yancey.
Thank you, Your Honor. As indicative of our motion, the parties were not married. They have one minor child, Silas. And at the time that the child was born, the parties were not together. My client is the legal father. He is on the birth certificate. He signed the affidavit of parentage. I did provide a copy of that with my filing. There is also a child support file with your county. The reason for the delay in filing this in your county, Your Honor, just so you have a history, is my client actually started this proceeding as a child support matter, and he actually filed it in St. Joe County, and then it got transferred to Branch County because the child had been moved there with mother. Then it came back to St. Joe County, and then it went to Calhoun. So we had to wait until somebody took the case and there was an actual filing before we were able to file. The parties have had kind of an on again, off again in terms of relationship with the child, in terms of my client being able to see the child. There was some equal parenting time that was occurring until this got filed. But now recently, my client has seen the child 3 times at his home since our filing, and he did have the child from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This past Saturday. So my hope is that the parties can work this out and that my client can be awarded joint legal custody so he can be involved in major decision making with the child, such as the child's medical, where the child will go to school, where the child lives. But we're asking, Your Honor, for at least 50-50 parenting time at this time in custody. My client has stable housing in Sturgis. He lives with his parents. He's always lived there. He is gainfully employed. He has a valid driver's license. He does have a room for the child with a crib. He is able to provide diapers, formula, clothing for the child. He has an appropriate car seat. And he has actually also, and I apologize, he also has had one other visit at a park that the parties met at. So he's been trying to see the child as much as he can. The child's not even a year old, but he does want to be actively involved in the child's life, and he'd like to be able to work things out with mother so that they can co-parent this child.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Trine, what's your response to the motion?
well, first of all, I have never lived in Branch County. I have only ever lived in St. Joseph County and Calhoun County.
Okay, ma'am, I don't care about all that. The matter is here. We're addressing this today. I don't care about the background of where it was filed, not filed, et cetera.
Okay. So Landon has had opportunities to see Silas multiple times. There have been a few where he has not wanted to. He has asked me to, and I had set up plans, and he had not shown up or done anything about it. He's not wanted to come here. There has been 2 times that we have met at parks because the other times he either did not want to come here and it wasn't convenient for me to go all the way closer to him to go to a park or something. And he has seen him 3 times at his house in the past 2 months, I think. But a lot of that is only because he has chosen not to see him anywhere else.
Okay. Ma'am, obviously it's important that the child have a relationship with both parents.
Of course.
What would you propose for time for Mr. Brumbaugh to see the child?
I would say that the Wednesday every other weekend, or 1 day a week every other weekend would be fair.
Okay. When you say alternating weekend, the standard alternating weekends, Friday at 6:00 p.m. to Sunday at 6:00 p.m. Is that what you're proposing?
Yes.
Okay. And then a Wednesday midweek.
Yes.
Or of his choosing.
Or of his choosing.
Okay.
If that's at all possible.
Okay. Ms. Yancey, you've heard the plaintiff. What's your response?
Your Honor, we would propose either a week on, week off, or we would propose a 2-2-3 for the child. That way the child is seeing the parents on a regular basis. My client would have 2 days, mom would have 2 days, and then a parent would have a 3-day weekend. We would like to know where mom's going to be living at. She's in Three Rivers now on the weekends, so that could, the parties obviously have to communicate. Maybe the app close application would be a good application to use for parenting time exchanges and conversations, but we would like to see a 50-50. If not, at least if Your Honor is inclined to do the midweek, we would at least ask for and at least an overnight on that midweek, and we'd also ask for an extended weekend.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Trine, what's your response to their proposal?
I live in Burlington, Michigan. I have my own house with my sister. I am only in Three Rivers on the weekends occasionally because my cousins live there, and we are pretty good friends, and we go over there often. I would 100% be okay with him spending the night on weekends, of course. On Landon's weekend, he can spend the night from Friday to Sunday. I have no problem with that at all.
Okay.
Midweek, probably I would prefer not an overnight visit, but if push came to shove, I wouldn't mind that either.
Okay. Well, what the court's going to do in this matter is the court's going to grant to the parties on a temporary basis, temporary joint legal custody. The court will grant the parties joint physical custody, which would provide that the defendant would have the child on every weekend from Friday at 6:00 p.m. to Sunday at 6:00 p.m. and then one overnight during the week. We'll set that for Wednesdays if the parties can't agree on another night. If you can agree on another night, being at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's fine. But if you can't, then it will be Wednesday night. And the court will set support consistent with that. Ms. Yancey, you can get the income of the parties and calculate the support obligation pursuant to the Michigan Child Support Formula.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll prepare the order.
Okay. Ma'am, you will be getting an order which will recite what we're doing, but the court will order that this take place immediately. So if, again, if he can start his midweek on Wednesday of this week, unless the two of you agree upon another overnight, and the weekends that this Friday as well. And court would order that you'd utilize Our Family Wizard or App Close or one of those things, the way you can communicate this way. I will tell both parties that when you communicate through one of those services, those those records are kept of your communication. So the court has access to those. And I only mention it because sometimes people get, unfortunately, very colorful in the language they use. Realize the court will see that in the future if it's necessary.
Your Honor, just for clarifications, on the Wednesday, do we say 6 to 6 then, as we do for the weekend, or what would the court's preference be on that?
That would be fine. We can do it from 6:00 p.m. on Wednesday or whatever night to 6:00 p.m. the other night. The parties, it sounds like they're living at a distance. What we'll do is have the parties meet at a halfway point. I don't know what the halfway point is. You'll have to look that up and find out what a halfway point is that you might be able to meet at some public place. You know, I don't know, a particular fast food restaurant that may be at an exit or something of that nature where you can meet.
Okay. Ms. Trine, would Mendon, that would take you on M60 straight here. Would the Mendon Shell or the Mendon Dollar General be okay? He's coming from Sturgis, which is about 25 miles.
The perfect halfway point between me and Landon would be Leonidas. We have both made the drive both ways, so the halfway point is it's 20 minutes both ways. So it's 20 minutes for me, 20 minutes for Landon. It would be Leonidas.
Okay, where would you meet in Leonidas? I've been through Leonidas.
There's no,
a lot.
yeah, there's no
nothing there
businesses.
that's open.
There's a bar and there's an old store. There's plenty of places.
Yeah, stores and
Everything's closed. There's no business for anybody. Like if someone, and God forbid, if somebody had to document that they were there and the other party wasn't, there's no way to document a time frame.
Right.
I'm in 35 minutes for you.
Okay, hold on a second. Ma'am, I know somebody's speaking in your background. They're not involved in this proceeding. Tell them they need to remain quiet.
please.
Okay. I do note in Leonidas, there is a church that's just east of the store area. I do note that they always have a chain up to block off the driveway, but you can pull off the highway there. So why don't we meet at that particular church? And I don't remember the name, if it's Leonidas Baptist Church or what it is.
Yeah, I'll look it up, Your Honor. I think it's a Bible church, but I'm not positive either.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Maybe it's a Bible church. I just know it's within a block of the what you'd call the downtown area there.
Yes, I know where you're speaking of, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll have them meet at that location to exchange the child. If they feel that they need to have a witness, they always have the right to bring a third party present as well.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's a wrap on this case. The judge has ruled in favour of joint custody, granting the father his proposed visitation schedule. The child will stay with the father every weekend, along with one overnight visit during the week. What are your thoughts on this outcome? Do you think the judge made the right call? Share your opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more family court drama.